Okay, so the eyedropper tool is pretty easy to use. Depending on what you're doing on your artboard, you're going to have to use the eyedropper tool at some point. So if you ever need to pick a color from a piece of artwork, say you've got a screenshot of something that you want to use, um, and you want to add that color to your artboard or to your color swatch, all you need to do is hit the eyedropper tool. You'll see that the tool will change. Um, Basically, all you need to do is just left click, say, after the yellow, and then it will color pick that color, which you can use that hex code or the values for anything that you need, like a web use or EDM, brand guidelines, that sort of thing, if you need to use those hex codes there. The way to actually apply this to objects on your artboard is to do a placement of the color picker. So I'll show you how that works. So let's just say we're after the maybe that nice like orangey red. So I'm going to color pick that. So it's color picked it, but I'm going to hold the Alt or the Option key on my keyboard, and you can see that the tool has changed to a placement eyedropper. So I'm just going to place that here, and then if I click, it will just steal that fill and add that fill to an object that I've got on the board. Alright, so again, I'll just practice using the blue. So say for example, I want to actually fill a shape with a color that I've got somewhere. I can just click on the shape first, then hit the eyedropper tool, then hit the color. Then you can see that it's got those properties pretty much exactly right. The same can work, for example, if you're maybe color picking objects with a similar sort of stroke as well. So if you go color picker, color pick that, it will pick the stroke and the fill, and if you want to place that, hit Alt or Option and place that. It will take both those values as you wish. You can also change this option if you double click on the eyedropper tool and change the stroke or the focal fill or even character and paragraph styles. Yeah, so you can obviously use and tinker with this if you don't want the eyedropper tool to not pick up stroke as opposed to fill colors. So if I untick focal stroke on both of these, picking up and applying, that should allow me to just pick up the fill and place that. So you can see it makes it a bit easy if you're doing this on like a bulk, bulk artwork update, that sort of thing there. So that, yeah, I would encourage you to play around with that also. Eyedropper tool doesn't also just work for colors, it also works for text. So say for example, I want to replicate this Terminator text in this text box that I've drawn out just by accident, or I've just done something and I just want to replicate that using the same font. It's not going to copy the text, it's just going to replicate the style of this text so I can type something else. So the way that I can do this is click on the text box first, eyedropper. You can see that the cursor will have a T, which means text or text tool. I'll just left click and it will steal those character features from this text box and place it in here. You can see the red there because the text is overlapping because we've got too much text in here. So then we can type out whatever and it's the same style. Color picking also works for gradients as well. So say for example I want to use this gray gradient on an object, so I can hit the color picker tool, I can hold shift, so shift, I think it was shift, yeah, did I click shift? Well, let me try that again. So if you hold the eyedropper tool, or you don't need to really hold shift, but if you just click on a gradient, you can place that using the Alt Option key. If you want to pick specific colors from this gradient, say for example you're doing like a swatch, you can see that the fill here is picking up individual colors, and that's with me holding shift. So it's good for adding swatches if you're going to do that sort of thing with a specific piece of artwork, that sort of thing. Yeah, and then obviously the last two is if, the way that I usually use the color picker tool is if I'm picking color from a specific artwork, or I want to use a color from something that I've used or something that I have as a reference point. So for example, I want to use this orange for the logo I've done and place that in a swatch as like a guide. You can see that it's already selected and it's placed it there because I've selected the object. And I'll just show you once more. So for example, I want to do the blue here. That's a nice nice sort of royal blue. Color picker. I've forgotten to select the object. No matter, I can hold Alt or Option and place it there. And then there you go. I wish Illustrator kind of had a way to pick up gradients on the page as like an object. So say for example I want to replicate this gradient. I wish there was a way to do it, but that's not something that I know how to do right now. But yeah, you can kind of see how the eyedropper tool can kind of help you to make color picking and character styles, that sort of thing, styling your work to be a bit easier. Yeah, let me know if you got questions, and if you want one-to-one coaching, just leave a comment and I can organize a link in the description. Thanks.